On today's episode of Warehouse Safety Tips, we're going to be talking about why glove safety is essential PPE. So stay tuned. Welcome to Warehouse Safety Tips. If you're a seasoned vodcast viewer, this vodcast is going to be different from most that you watch. It's based around exactly what the name implies, warehouse safety tips. And since the people in this industry are busy, we know that time is money, so each episode will be as short and to the point as possible. And now, with all that out of the way, let's get to the vodcast. You know all about PPE, personal protective equipment. You probably think about masks because of the recent pandemic. You might even think about safety glasses. But the thing that you may not be thinking about in the series that we're covering about PPE is what protects these? Your hands. It's absolutely imperative that you go through and follow any sort of PPE requirements that are set forth in your facility or anything that you're doing for glove safety. So if you're going through and doing a job that is going to possibly have cuts or punctures or possibly any sort of exposure to chemicals, that you are wearing the glove that fits the job. So the other thing that you might want to think about is if you're dealing with some sort of food prep or maybe something in the pharmaceutical or just dealing with the public. It may be something as simple as a latex glove that you're able to take off in between each use. But the other thing that you want to keep in mind is that it still is going to require that you wash your hands and keep your hands as clean as possible when putting them in and out of gloves to make sure that you're not spreading any sort of contaminants that way as well. But it's one of those things that we try to not harp on or sound like a broken record, but it's the things that you do all the time that are going to keep you safe. Not when the bosses are around, not when management is, peering down on you. It's the stuff that you're doing when they're not watching that's going to keep you and everybody on your staff and your facility in general safe. We know that sometimes PPE can become hot. It can maybe hinder doing the job as easy as you would without it. Glasses fog up, hats get hot, gloves get hot, but they're absolutely, again, imperative, and it's paramount, that you go through and protect your hands. You only get one set. So if you are, for some reason or another injured, in the line of doing your job and you don't have on any sort of glove or hand protection, it's going to possibly take you out. It may also cause everything from fines to slow down in productivity, raise costs because of things associated with the injuries and or loss of protection. There's just a absolute chain reaction that can happen by not wearing PPE, and that's why it's so important to know that gloves are an absolute essential part of PPE, along with the other items that we've covered and items that we're still going to cover in the future. Make sure that you are going through and observing whatever it is that your facility says that you need to have, because it's just of the utmost importance. So thank you very much for being part of another episode of Warehouse Safety Tips, and here is a word from one of our sponsors.
It's scientifically unexplainable. It's virtually indestructible. And it's taking over the entire planet. But in a really good way. It's Mighty Line floor tape, the most durable floor tape in the world. 7 times thicker than average floor tape. Beveled to endure pounding warehouse traffic. And backed with a super strong peel and stick adhesive, so you'll never have to worry about painting shop floors again. Mighty Line floor tape, the only durable stripe.